Good Tuesday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. This is your outlook for March 11th, 2014. And we have a system upon us that's going to affect our area on Wednesday, but we're going to have a nice mild day out ahead of it, and temperatures reaching 60 in many locations, at least in the upper 50s to near 60. And down towards Philadelphia is where you would receive the 60-plus degree temperature readings for today. This is the system on Wednesday that we have been tracking for about a week now, and it's amazing how we went from a system that was showing a widespread area of over a foot of snow over much of Pennsylvania and New Jersey to now talking about the possibility of severe weather just 6 days later. Pretty incredible how that works out in the model guidance and why we have not latched on any ideas in the long range a little bit too early. And the same reason we're not latching onto an idea for the 18th, because we think that has time to change as well. Here's the system that's moving in from the Ohio Valley, and this system will continue over south central PA. Very strong wrapped up system here, 984 millibars. This will move over to basically track from south central PA over the Lehigh Valley into northern New Jersey and continually strengthening as it does here. And you'll see the snow on the back end here. This is not going to be a snowstorm from the start. So you see this is mostly a rain situation. This is Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. Next image is 8 p.m. Wednesday. You see the snow starting to crash in on the back end here, but it's going to be very, very brief. And the areas that are the most susceptible to accumulations are going to be up in our northwest zones here across Tioga County, maybe Lycoming up into say Bradford County, Susquehanna County, areas like that could get into some accumulations. I think further southeast, you're going to struggle to do that. It may end as a few wet snowflakes all the way down to about I-78, all the way up in from Harrisburg to the Lehigh Valley up in New Jersey. It will probably be your cutoff for seeing flakes from this system, but not accumulation. No accumulation is expected in that area. This system then wraps up and heads up into basically over Boston at 978 millibars, so it's a really wrapped up system, and eventually gets into the Gulf of Maine at 977 millibars. A blizzard will be taking place up here into northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine, but in our latitude, of course, this system will be over and done with. Just some brisk winds behind it out of the north that I will be dealing with on Wednesday night and Thursday. Going to the NAM, now this is a little bit different of a track here, so we're just going to show this because it's showing a little bit different of a situation with a 980 millibar low just northeast of Pittsburgh over by Clarion here at this hour. This is hour 45, hour 48. It is sitting basically over Scranton at 980 millibars, so it's a little bit further north. But what that would allow it to do, if it did take a track like that, is have a warm sector that sets up over here in the areas that I circled. And why that's important is that could be setting up some storms here that could be approaching severe limits. And that's going to be dependent on how much cloud cover is around. And the NAM is not impressed with the cloud cover even or the precipitation early on the day or during the day on Wednesday. I'm sorry. And so that would allow for these storms to build with diurnal heating out ahead of it. And, well, we haven't included that in our weather alert maps, which I'll show you in a minute. But here's what the NAM High Res does. Very strong squall line going all the way from North Carolina all the way up to the New York-Pennsylvania border. These are thunderstorms. This is a strong squall line of thunderstorms. And we'll have to monitor this, because if this is correct with a dynamic system that's sitting up here, you'll be in the warm sector down to the south of it, and you could have some very gusty winds with this squall line. I don't think you're going to be dealing with severe weather on a grand scale here, but it would not be surprised if you had some winds 40 to 50 miles an hour with the winds at 850 millibars between 50 and 60 knots. So it won't take much for these heavier rain bands that move through here to produce some very strong gusty winds if in fact the NAM is correct. And the GFS shows that to some degree also. So it's not like the NAM's on its own. The NAM is just the furthest north with this system and has it over Scranton. The GFS has it over Allentown. So, it's not very much. Allentown and Scranton are probably about 60 miles straight line distance apart, so it's not that far off. And so we will have to continue to monitor that just in case we're dealing with a strong thunderstorm situation on Wednesday evening. Here's our weather alert maps page, and this is right off the weather alert maps page. We have the heaviest snow confined way up here to the northwest here, actually in southern New York, all the way up to maybe very extreme northern Tioga County here. This is our extreme western part of our coverage area. Our coverage area actually cuts. Here's Tioga County right here. This is Tioga right here. This is our coverage area that runs right like this. So this is anything within this to the points east is our coverage area. So we would have to watch out for these areas up here within our coverage area. Tioga. This is Bradford County. This is Susquehanna, and we could have some accumulations up in this area, we think. But just minor. This area in blue here is a 2 to 4 inch range. Of course, starting as rain in a mix. Areas up here in the purple would be 4 to 8. Of course, that's outside of our coverage area. And anything in the pink here is the area we think will end as snow, and you have a coating to as much as 2 inches of snow on the back end. The highest end of that 2 inches would probably be in the higher elevations of the Poconos and out here in central PA. This green area here, we're expecting anywhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch of rain, and possibly ending very briefly as snow. So nothing more than a coating in this area if you were going to get some snow on the back end. And this will be all rain down here in the light green, anywhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of rain. Now, we did have a hashed area here on the weather alert maps page, and this indicates an area where we can expect the thunderstorms to fire. And this would be, of course, late afternoon Wednesday and Wednesday evening, and we're going to have to watch that for for some stronger storms. I do think the NAM is too far north with this system, and because of that, we have it a little bit further south, in line where the GFS has the thunderstorm line, and then the GFS actually has this in the same area the European model has it. And since there's such dynamic systems, and this will be the warm sector of the storm, this is where we can expect the thunderstorms to form. And again, we could be talking about some straight line winds, but not quite severe. Severe is 58 miles an hour or greater. I think we very easily can get some wind gusts in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range on these with the stronger Boeing segments that do come through. Best chance for that to happen would probably be down here from Philadelphia and point south, but we can't rule out anything further north as well. Again, depending on track and how much sun is available out ahead of it, that would contribute to diurnal heating. Going back to the GFS now, we're going to take the quick look at the rest of the run here. Here's our system moving away here, wrapping up into the Canadian Maritimes, and then it's going to warm up again Friday, Saturday. We're going to have another cold front come through late Saturday, we think. The GFS actually speeds it up a little bit, but this is a progressive model, so we think it's actually going to be Saturday night this front comes through. Maybe a few showers with that front overnight Saturday night, and then it cools down a little bit on Saturday. Here's the system on the 18th everybody's talking about. The GFS has it way down in the south here, very disorganized, not a big deal. We're going to have to keep an eye on this one as well, but I'm really not favoring this system whatsoever. I really don't have the... there's not a lot of favorable teleconnections involved with the system, so we have a couple of days to look at this. We will continue to monitor it just in case, but we're really not a fan of this system on the 18th, and that's why we have not listed it in our weather alert map section, on the long range outlooks as a favorable storm for this time frame. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is our outlook for March 11th, 2014. Have a great Tuesday.